What's up, guys? It's your boy back at it again with Blender 2787. We have fun here. But thanks for joining me, and today we'll be taking a look at Lars Alexandersson of Tekken 8. And before we start, I'd just like to quickly shout out my Patreon. If you'd like to go and support me over on Patreon, it makes a world of difference. And I'd also like to shout out Tendo XI. Yeah, my favorite Lars main, if by any chance he's watching. Shout out Tendo XI. But without further ado, let's do this. I'm here now. So, off rip, first thing we check, polygon count, right? And the polygon count here seems to be 130. Which does, on the surface, does seem excessive, but it's seemingly excessive. Trust me, it doesn't tax as much on your system. That's because, first of all the faces are triangulated, right? They're not quads, they're not in fours, they're in threes. And this is standard practice. When you take any 3D model that is in quads and you put in a game engine, the game engine will convert it into tris, which is gonna, almost double the amount of polygons. Because if we select all the polygons and then untriangulate them, it brings it down to 70k, which is what you would expect. So coming out of the 3D software, this thing had about 69, 70ish k, and then it got into the game engine, it got triangulated, and then here we are. But also this 100,000 from a previous comment that I saw, just put it up on screen in the corner somewhere. This is standard practice for 8th gen, 9th generation games. Okay, this is just how it is, just how we do business. Apparently, what takes more processing power are the shaders, the texture maps. And here, I'll explain why. So, for example, just for his head, right? Here, we have this 2K size texture. And then, if we come here, we search face, just FAC. Yeah, we see that just the face alone has 3 of them. That's 6k worth of textures. And just as the head alone, every body part has at least 3, every segment has at least 3 different texture maps with a minimum of 1k. Again, to put that into perspective, an entire PS2 model's textures could all fit on a 500 pixel texture image, which is why they kind of looked muddy and cloudy sometimes. But if you want peak texturing, if you want peak detailing, you want everything to get its own space. So that's why everything is as it is. But let's get back to the model here. We're gonna be going top down, inside out. So first, let's start with I want to start with all the head elements. So what I'll do is I'm gonna hide the body around here. Yeah, just gotta select and hide all that mess, so it can be left with some head. Okay, let's head over into materials mode. Let's start with the hair. Let's take a look at the hair. So the hair, pretty standard practice. Bunch of hair cards that then have the hair texture onto them, and then it's been modeled separately. The other option, not game engine wise, but just generally, is to use particles, which looks like actual hair. That's what you see on Pixar people and 3D animated films. They just use a particle system from the in-engine software. But game engines do this because in a game engine, everything has to be a mesh. It seems it's been a while since I've dabbled in any sort of game engine stuff. But let's hide the hair too. As a matter of fact, since we're here, we might as well. Let's peep that edge flow. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the business. Okay, here, let's do this. Let's open up a second window, and then have this window be the one with no overlays. So you can kind of get the wire mesh general, and also what the head looks like in general. So from the way the polygons are, again, it seems to me like this came from something like ZBrush, or you edit it out, you model it out in ZBrush, and then you take the base mesh into something like 3ds Max or Maya to then like optimize and clean it up, because coming out of ZBrush it's gonna have polygons in the millions. But the skin detailing here, freaking immaculate. This looks like some Substance Painter stuff. Here, this looks, yeah, it looks like some Substance Painter. Like, look at the multi-texturing, look at the pores on it. Again, this is probably all just normal map magic or normal map trickery, but you see how the edge flow is really king, you know? When you in places where there'd be a bit more crinkling, like around here-ish, polygon density is a bit higher. And of course, the polygon density goes decreasing the further out you go from the face. So I think we've established if something is like, especially look at the mouth here, right? There's a whole ton of polys here on the mouth, because yeah, the mouth is probably gonna be the most busy part of the body. Ha 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 ha. Pause or whatever. Whatever the kids say these days. So it's got a higher density polygon count. It's just so weird how, like, without hair, he looks like such a different person, such a different character, you know? But let's hide that too and look at the mouth and teeth now. Bruh. Okay, let's also hide these eyebrows, hide the eyelash. Huh? I was not expecting the eyelashes to be there. I was expecting them to be a bit higher. Anyway, let's look at the eyes. So you see the eyes are doing this weird, glowy, shiny thing. I think that's because of certain reflective maps that were put onto it. The teeth, have they been individually modeled? No, they have not. Interesting. The teeth on the... this little side thing is so funny. But the teeth on the Squirrel Girl model and the Marvel Rivals model were all individually textured. All individually modeled, I mean. This one seems to be modeled into one massive realistic looking thing, and then realistic looking mouth, and then just parented all together, which I wonder why, because this is like realistic looking, so you'd think that there'd be a bit more detail in that regard, but no, apparently not. We use a bit more economy of modeling here. Interesting. Super interesting. So now we're looking at the gullet, the mouth, and the teeth. Part of the reason why I picked the Tekken characters because I wanted to look at some realistic stylized some realistic characters here. But obviously there's no like one style that is king. It all depends on what you're trying to do. But I love this. I love the realistic modeling, the realistic texturing. I love that even I got his little gallbladder here, so it's going yay! You can see the inside of his mouth. Yeah, we love it. We have fun here. Yeah, kind of looks blind. It's kind of looking creepy now. Let's unhide that. Let's go back into object mode. What else could I say about the eyes? Let's see the polygon. Okay. This makes sense. But I think it's also to be able to control the eye, like iris and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure this is. Oh, I thought it'd be like separated so that you can just animate the iris if you want to make it move up and down. But let's go look at the textures for this. Again, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be no UV, not UV. I'm pretty sure these are still gonna be. Wait, the eyes are individual. I thought the eyes would have been one separate object. Why are they individual? I thought it would be like one. Okay, fine. I don't know. Maybe it got separated in extraction. I don't know. No, we're looking for face inner. We're looking at inner mouth. Yes, inner mouth. So, the texture itself has some alpha channeling on it. Of which I'm trying to find the reason. Why is it in alpha? Is it just like a transfer thing? I don't know. Does it just look a bit more realistic like that? I don't know. But notice, right? The mouth, the jaw here, its own separate tile. That's like 1K. The eyes. all on one separate texture that's 1K. Like, you could fit an entire PS2 model's textures in the textures for, like, this eye, and you'll still have a half a texture tile left over. So that's what's burning y'all's graphics cards from 2009. Okay, that's what it is. I really have no right to make that joke. Like, if you saw how trash my PC was. But anyway, we looked at the head. I kind of want to go back and look at the head textures now. I want to look at the head texture. It's face. It's not just FAC. Let's check the face. Okay, again, I love to zoom in on these, and this is why it's 2K, because if it was any smaller than 2K, you wouldn't be able to see these textures. And I remember a few years ago, I used to go nuts being like, oh man, they even got the pores in, that is so crazy, how do they do that? Nah, they just massive texture tile that they then use really well textured normal maps. Nice. You can see the wrinkles here on his neck. These ones here, if we do this right, these ones are those wrinkles there. You understand how these normal maps work? You see? That part is that part there. And then you see how it's got that little scar on it. Yeah. These, you can sculpt these details in and then extract a normal map from the sculpted model. I think that's usually how they do it. You just sculpt the details in with something like ZBrush. Should take quite a bit of time, but then again, that's why this is a whole like department's job. Again, detail on the lips is why he's able to glow. The glow, I mean, the light is falling on his lips like that. It's because of that. So whenever you see super detailed textures, it's not that they jam-packed a whole bunch of faces and that's why. No, it's the texture maps that are so busy and so big. The lots of polygons really just helps with like deforms and like fabric simulations and things like that. Things that need to move smoothly or things that need to move bouncy. That's what the high polygon count is for. And again, I mentioned at the beginning, the triangulation happens in engine. So because these are models extracted out of the engine, they're gonna have they gotta be triangulated. But of course, if you wanted to, you could always just untriangulate them. So this textures have 3 maps on them. They have at least 3 main maps. They have a normal, they have the diffuse, and then they have this MTM map. Now, I'm gonna assume that this MTM map is some kind of tone map. A tone map is pretty much just a map that tells the game engine or whatever it is how the color will affect the light, or how it'll fall on the light or something like that. I know it has to do something with lighting and color. I just don't know as much. So if somebody could be a lad in the chat in the comments and educate me as to what an MTM is and how to use it, that would be lovely, because I haven't had to use this because I'm not in game development, which is sad. But let's head back to the model. I think that's all we've looked at. You can see that the scars have not been modeled. The scars are just a normal map. Again, the rule of thumb is if it doesn't deform the silhouette, normal map. If it deforms the silhouette, you gotta model it. At least that's what I use. That's usually what I use. So we looked at his hair, we looked at his eyes, we looked at everything in his mouth. Now, oh yeah, there's something I wanted to show you, something that I thought was really cool. The person who arranged this, I'll put their name on screen. I just can't remember it right now because I got this model off of DeviantArt. They set up these textures like really well. Okay, like really well. And it does this thing. Okay, I'm gonna switch off the light there. You see the little like lion and the actual lighting up parts. Actually, wait, let me switch on ray tracing so you can see what I mean. Yeah, the actual like light up parts light up. You know, I think that's super cool. I think that is super cool. But that's just in engine. I'm sure they light up too in the game because I'm currently on Eevee, which is the real-time rendering engine, because I wanted to get a more game ready feel of how it's like on this ray tracing on, ray tracing off. But yeah, I just thought that was cool. I just thought that was cool. Thought that was I just thought it was neat. Now we're gonna have a look at the outfit. Oh, I forgot to give him a general little like look around, like just for the general model. I have always been in love with Tekken models. Okay, ever since I first got exposed to Tekken 5 when I was a kid, I've always thought these models look super cool, and they've kept the same aesthetic through and through. Even now, as I am as old as I am, Tekken models still absolutely fascinate me. So now we're gonna run through all these body models, on this body, and we're gonna figure out what's been modeled and what is just normal map trickery. So again, Control I, isolate, hide, come into edit mode, boom. Oh, I thought this was all normal maps. I really did, but no, it's actually been modeled. Wait, solid mode? Yeah, it's actually been modeled. Okay, incredible. Sensational. I love that. So again, you can just straight model this and then attach it onto there, and then use Boolean operations to reconnect it. Or you could just sculpt it and then make a slightly lower poly version of it. But this is why I love Tekken models, man. This level of detail is ridiculous. His chains too. Oh my god. Oh, the little chains are all individually. I mean, of course. This is why we stand Tekken. This is why Tekken has been the big dog for all this time. Like, nobody's even gonna see this. I wouldn't have even like modeled this low key. I would have just left it, but nah, I appreciate it. Into the little collar and his little pretentiousness napkin. I don't know what do you call this? This little napkin that goes into your collar. I just call it the pretentiousness napkin. But you see how his collar has been textured, but everything underneath has not been textured. That's cause you don't see that. But then you see this, but then you don't. Wait. Alt H. You could barely see. Man, I don't know why I'm so impressed by that. Like, I shouldn't be. It's basic, but I love it. I love it still. Let's go look at your textures and see how you've been mapped out. So which part are you? Oh no. It's pretty simple how you find out what part it is. This has been entitled dummy material. I think we can just look. Let me see. What is it? Is it coat? Is it collar? So I'm just gonna have to like look through these. I'm just gonna have to look through these. Or not. We can just go into the shading tab here. And then see what is it. What's it called? It's inner coat. Okay, so I just gotta search inner coat. Inner coat. Let's go. So with the inner coat here, the diffuse, it seems to be using a really like complex shader, because here, or did I just select the wrong map? Let me see. C, that should be color, right? And then you have into ID. I see. So with this is it seems to be like a texturing convention for like modern games, where you have sort of these like drab main color part, and then everything else gets controlled by another color. Maybe it's by another like control. Maybe it's for the customization, we're able to control it. But again, this is I'm still very impressed. I'm very impressed with this little insignia thing here of his. It's been modeled so that it actually has like the physical changes, and then the texture work on it is also really, really good. So you can be able to get those, they say the devil's in the details. You can be able to get those little details like the dirt around it and stuff like that. These little things just add that much character to the model, add personality to the model. I really appreciate that. So I'm curious about this lion's head thing. Yes, it is its own separate thing. But before we look at the, actually, yeah, well, now that we're here, we should might as well look at his shoulder. What is this? This is like a shoulder pad, like a protection thing. Again, everything seems to be modeled. Huh. They don't seem to be doing much of that normal map trickery that I that I keep talking about, except for here. Here, clearly they had to use the normal map trickery because these details are too small to add. If you were to add this with meshes, again, faces in the millions. Faces in the millions. So, select these little gears here, and oh, wait. Why are they not joined together? Do I gotta go in and join everything together? I don't want to do that. I don't want to select everything and say like remove distance, because I think I might end up making altering it beyond the original modeler's like intentions, and that's what I'm trying to get here. It's like the original modeler's intentions. So again, whole lot of detail, some nice hard surface modeling. Let's go into yeah, and this is just on his little like shoulder pad thing, but again, fully necessary, fully worth it. Fully necessary, fully worth it. Like I said, I've loved Tekken models from the get, and this is, and I'm just loving them even more now. I'm loving them even more. This is actually really well optimized. Okay, this is like, I'm not seeing any like needless faces here. This is really good. I don't even know what to say. Again, the button, the button they used. For the button, they used the normal map trickery, as I call it. It's not trickery, it's just standard practice. But I really appreciate that these models, how like you build these models, because I'm sure everything you started off as like a. I'd love to see like the planning phase, I mean, of this model, because it's super complex. But even the most super complex models, you can achieve by starting with a very basic and easy blocking out sort of process. So we've checked his little lion's head. Let's quickly go check the UV map, see how they set this dude up. Let's go find out what this thing is called. Chest. Say with chest. The color. Okay, so there's the little lion's head. There's that. At least the space around the little lion's head. The actual lion's head seems to be all over the place. It seems. But we also do it like this to make it like harder to steal their textures, because then you have to like take them and rearrange them. I don't know, because like we got them here, somebody's able to figure them out. I don't know, man, I'm just talking out my ass. But again, very impressive stuff. Comes all the way around. Oh, it's the underpart to this thing here. Which, let me see. Oh, so wait, these two kind of like come together to make up his. Wait, let's go back to the modeling. To make up the gear of it. So you see these little ribs here, at least this little like lines here. Wait, have they? Okay, so you see in the solid mode, it's all smooth, it's all solid. But when you go into textured, suddenly, oh wow, it's got grooves. That's the normal maps. That's the normal maps doing that. So because again, as I mentioned, it didn't change the silhouette. Now, I kind of want to focus in on this shoulder thingy because it illustrates what I've been saying before. The whole when to use normal maps and when to just use and when to model it. So you see how this, like the shoulder part, the ring outline, yeah, those have been modeled, but the little grooves here that are supposed to go in there, that's just been textured because those are they're like little indents. They go in, so you can do the normal map trickery, as I call it. But yeah, again, little details like these little circly things you're seeing on there, not been modeled, but textured, and that's the real trick of it, to learn when to use what, because there's so many little like tricks and stuff like that that are available for you to be able to take advantage of. Again, like you see here, you don't see this little groove on the model here. That's because it's in the texture, baby. It's in the texture. And again, the edge flow, the line weighting is just hoo-wee. Peak indeed. Okay, I think I've looked at the little... Oh, it's got two straps. It's got the strap for the main part and the strap for the shoulder part. And we just check the shoulder strap here. Let's switch off the overlay. Again, this whole thingy here has been modeled. Well, just the main parts at least. The parts that change the way it's shaped. There we got the inside. Okay, now I kind of want to see what how much this shoulder thingy changes the look of his model. Okay, so if we take that off, we hide it. Oh, let's hide that too. So we've got these like black lines where that should go. I'm gonna assume that's for, well, could be for multiple reasons. Could be to like demarcate that, to demarcate on this one's texture, right? Or on the main code's texture where that one goes. So, but it's fully textured, or it just could be like trying to give it like a faux shadow kind of feel, like a fake shadow. So just, yeah, it could be that, like a fake shadow kind of thing. So you just texture the underneath. But are there any other up layers? Nope. His coat seems to be. Oh wait, there's this thing. So now we're gonna isolate that and go look at that. Oh, this is like. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's a little cape. Okay, and the cape is where that thing comes on. I'm curious what this looks like in the texture paint. This is C. So this is... No, we're going here. UV. Alright, so off rip, we can see his little cape thing. You can tell that this is textured. This has definitely been textured in, because if we're going to edit mode, you see, yeah, the faces don't change where it goes because this has been normal mapped in. If we go into the rendered view, you see, this is probably, yeah, it's probably been normal mapped into some very strong, like very high contrast normal map type colors. Again, with the knitting here, you see. It's just textures, but it's all textured really well. Even this layer has the shoulder stuff on top of it, and then the underneath part has been painted black. Sure, there's a valid reason that I might be too goofy to realize, but yeah. So again, solid texture work. This could very well have been modeled before. You model it out and then you sort of like stick it on there, and you take its normal map data and you leave it there. But I like it though. I like the texture work. Well, what am I talking about? Let's just go look at this normal map. But now I gotta first find out what part is this called. Oh, it's cape. It's cape. It's the cape. The cape. We're checking the normal. See, that's what I meant. It's like a really hard normal map. That's that part there. That's that. It's that whole lion insignia. I'm sure my Tekken peoples know why. I haven't played Tekken since like 5, okay? Judge me all you want. But again, I'm just looking to see here. So the buttons on his little belt, cape belt? Bruh, the Tekken character designers really do go crazy. But yeah, his little cape belt. You see those little dots? They're these ones here. Just pop the overlay back on. Yeah, they're these ones here. So I think I've mentioned enough about this. Still, cool cape though. Cool cape. We are learning a lot. We're learning a lot here. At least like me personally, I'm learning a lot. Just like seeing how they arrange this stuff. Like, is this the industry standard? I don't wanna make any assumptions about any industry standards for gaming stuff, because I can understand that different studios do different things. Heck, even like studios from different countries do things differently. So instead of trying to like be like, oh, this is studio assumption, this is just like figure out the basics, and then if you're lucky enough to get a job, they'll then tell you their specifications. Then, oof, buddy. Now that we have looked at that, I think it's time to isolate the jacket. Oh! Oh, wait. What happened there? Oh! It hid the overcoat too. Oh, okay, so there's 2 layers. There's his inside, the inner part, it seems. Because when I hide the coat... Oh. There is no inner part. His coat is the inner part. But this... Why that? Why is this solidified? I thought this would have just been left open. Because, like, no one's gonna see that. So why polys? Let's see what's underneath there. Yeah, see? So it's just continuous pants. I'm sure they had a reason. I don't see it. But I'm sure they did. Okay, now let's look at what I've kind of been wanting to look at this whole time, which is this coat. So this coat comprises of... There's so many little belt buckles. So many. Again, in terms of modeling, you wouldn't have to model all these belts. You'll just have to model one. Like, I'm pretty sure this bottom one is the one that was modeled first, and then they just took it up, reducing its length. But I want to see now. So you have this part here, and it just like, that's a very... It's like the seam of it just stops like halfway through it. Maybe that's because when in doubt, come to the UV map so you can see. Again, let's go see what this thing is called. In the shading, no. The shading. This guy is coat. God, I feel so stupid when I do that. But yeah, let's go to coat. Okay. Oh, wait. This is like 4K by 2K. It's a 4K by 2K texture. This is the first time I've encountered this texture size. But now it makes sense. So the top part is this part here. The lower part is that part. The lower part and the overhang. The overhang? Dude, just learn the names of things. Yeah, the coat part that's hanging. Then the interior part of the lower coat is this part here. Ha! Why does this make me so giddy? I don't know. And then we got all these belts. We got all these... Here, let's turn off overlays. We got all these belts. No, wait, why do I keep turning them off? Okay, so all the little belts are these little parts here. Again, you gotta be economical when you're stacking up your UV islands. But man, 4K by 2K. This is what's frying your graphics cards, oh man. And then there's multiple of them too. Like so much detail. I'm guessing these are these shoulder, these parts here. Yes, the arms here. Again, because the lion is like embroidered in, it doesn't really make that much of a difference to the silhouette. So you just normal maps it, you know? And it does actually react to the light. Here, I just want to get a better angle on it so you can see what I mean. Or maybe I could just shine a direct light on it. Or not. So yeah, you see? Little lion. Little lion. No lion. Little lion. Oh, no lion. And those are those lion parts there. I want to... Oh, show me normal maps. I want to see some normals. Oh, you see? Just embroider them in. And then... embroider them in. Just texture them in. Just texture them in. I'd love to get my hands on, like, the model of this that came right out of ZBrush. But it's a beast. It's a beast. But all this stuff, it does look like it takes... like a lot of time and effort, but trust me, it's not. It's not. It's like dedicated software. There's softwares that are dedicated to just like 3D texturing. Softwares that are dedicated to just shading. Blender does it all. Which means that it doesn't do other things as well as it being like specialized and dedicated, but it still does it anyway. Blender can do that too. And then you have these parts in here, which look like there's some kind of like, this part in here, it's like some kind of synthetic plastic. Again, it's just been modeled and then applied with shaders afterwards. This, it's like the only loose parts are these belts, and then also there's like the interior. No, oh yeah, so the top part and the bottom part, if I hit Control L, okay, so just the top vest there is its own. So I'm guessing the two, wait, let's go back to the UV here. I'm guessing that the arms are, yeah, up here. Up here. Super interesting. Super interesting. 2K by 4K texture tile. Interesting stuff. This is why I do this. This is why I do this. Because I would have never thought of a solution like this. I would have probably put 2K maps? At the top and the bottom? I don't know. But this is where the detail comes in the textures, baby. You want it's think of it as like drawing on paper, right? If you have you can draw more stuff on an A3 than you can an A4, simply because there's more space, you know. And it also depends on what you're drawing. But that's cool. That's cool. I really appreciate that. Again, the leather grooves here. This pocket, yeah, this pocket's not. Is it? Well, silhouette. It is! It's modeled. It's modeled in. It's modeled in. Okay. Why? Because the pocket does change the silhouette. What do you mean? And then again, we have the little belts here. Did they place these belts all on their own, or did they do the whole, like, if it's just belt? Nope. The belts all got their own. The belts, the little belt buckles all got their own. Is it because... Why though? Couldn't you have just like stacked them up onto the same one? Nah, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I am bugging. Because you could have just taken all the buckles, put them onto one space, and then have that space be the buckle space. And they just put them all on top of each other like with the Squirrel Girl model. Turn off overlays so I can see what's been made. No, but this is like soft modeled. It's not, they haven't put like ridges on, but they model the button though. You don't see that a lot. You don't see that a lot. They usually just UV. They just not bake it into the normal maps. I like it. It's good stuff. It is great stuff. So other than that, because I initially thought that this was going to be double layered, like there's gonna be another layer in between, but it's not. It's just one big layer that's been divided into two. because we have a long boy UV map for this one. Long UV map, boy. that I was not expecting. Other than that, is there any other aspect of this that I'm yet to check out? I looked at the collar. I think I already did look at the collar. Sheesh, now that's a collar. This one's serious. Flipping collar. And then we look inside. We see all the little leathery textures. So yeah, that's Lars OG. Wait, just want to look a bit closer at this. Nice. Okay. I think that's it. But first, let me quickly go see how this part looks like in the normals. I bet it looks schmeckshy. Like, that's one thing I like about normal maps is you could... Huh? Where are grooves? Where are those grooves? These grooves. Is there a second normal map? Nah. Where are they? These little hexagon things. Because they should be on this texture. Unless... I'm trying to check. Yeah, they're what? What did you do that for? Couldn't you have just put them on that? Okay, no. Okay. Let me not talk. So we have this whole UV map here with nothing on it except these little grooves. That I don't know. That feels a bit excessive. Okay, that feels a bit excessive. We didn't need all of this just for that. There could have been a slightly more elegant solution, man. Maybe you could have making it a separate layer would have been too much. Cause like, look, you got all this now. This entire thing gets calculated, even though there's nothing on it. It still gets calculated just for that. Oh man, I find that so funny because I really believe there could have been a better solution to this. Instead of throwing in a whole other normal map just for that part. Maybe you could have baked the normal maps into each other. Maybe you could have made it into its own separate little, like, small material or something. I don't know, but this... I don't know, man. I don't know. Seems a bit goofy. But... Let's see. Add. Oh, it says add, so they probably add. I'm guessing they probably grab them all together. The game engine, I mean, runs them all simultaneously. Because from the naming convention, I can tell that this is the main one, and then that one is like details. But now I'm curious, is there any other details that they might have left out because they wanted to put them on their own separate normal maps? Their own separate 4K by 2K map. Man, oh man, we have come a long way, haven't we? From the days when Zelda would take like 100 faces, and here we are. I wonder how many Ocarina of Times can fit in a Lars Alexanderson's model. I'm sure it's a lot. Okay, so... I think that's all for the... Any questions? I'm kidding. I can't hear you, bro. Why are you raising your hand? Anyway, now that we've finished up with the top part, now we can start with the lower part. Lower part seems to be... His legs seem to be divided into two. You have the trousers and the boots. Pants and the boots. And then you have... Oh, I thought this was gonna be like a separate thing. But that looks like fun. It looks like fun to look at. Let's go check this out. What is that? What kind of kinky ass shit this dude on, bruh? But of course, first of all, we gotta look around. Gotta get a shot of the gyat. You know what I mean? But again, the texturing here really good. Substance Painter doing the most for real. Yeah, this is defo Substance Paint. Okay, that's cool. That's a cool little detail. Let's hop into edit mode. And give it what for. So you have this triangle buckle. Does this exist in real life? I'd love if it did. I fear for the cosplayer guy who has to remodel this. It's gotta be crazy. So this seems to be like some kind of holster of some kind. Does he use a gun? Because I know Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat, he uses a gun. Does he use a gun? Because I don't know, man. I don't know. But again, a lot of these seems to be actually modeled, because if you go into the solid mode, you can see the grooves and the irregularities. And I like seeing these little like irregularities because it shows me, because usually I'd think that these are like mistakes, but no, they give life to the model. They make the model look alive, as it were. Saying the same thing twice. We see you fishing for runtime, Andy, but let's switch off the overlay. And what is this mess? What? This is a belt buckle. What is that? That's pretty serious. That looks pretty serious belt buckle. Go back into edit mode. Yeah. Looks like a belt buckle. But you see, the key here. What I'm noticing, what I'm feeling like here is that the key to real-time realism is in the details. Little details like this, because like from far, it just still you may not see it, but it gives the model a lot of life. Little scratch marks, or even like in the metals and stuff, you want to get as much detail, because I feel like that's one of the biggest problems I used to do. I used to try to make like very clinical, surgical looking models, and then what I would think was a mistake would actually have helped, but I get rid of it. I try to like iron it out. I thought he had knee pads, which is the reason why is because of this topology here on his knees. This topology here on his knees suggests to me that they took again, this is just standard practice. You make a base mesh and then you generate the clothes from the base mesh. As in, you select the faces of the mesh, duplicate them, extrude them, and then start working from there. Because like this topology for the knees is, I want to say, kind of unnecessary. You could just look like that, really. But that's because of how they did it. Okay, let's quickly select. Hold on. Oh, so that's one whole thing, and then it's been modeled in as one whole thing. Then that part there comes up separate. Guessing this little triangle here. Yeah. That one's separate, but man, what is going on with this belt buckle? Is it supposed to be a lion? So weird looking lion. Now we get to the fun part, which is looking at the UVs. Edit mode, select them all. I'm gonna assume that this is trousers. Okay, I'm gonna go check the shading again. See what it's called. Can we get much high? Yo, what's going? Wait a second. What? I didn't even look at this. Like this shader. So you have like the first shader here, which is like called a Tekken Edge shader. This has all been done by the person who I extracted the model from. Again, links will be in the description. But they all connect to another I thought this is the principal shader into another shader. Crazy stuff. Pants. It's entitled Pants. I thought it was trousers. First, let's just check the color in general. So this texture size This tile, I mean. Again, 2K. 2K just for his textures. But I'm wondering, like, the way they do with LODs, could you do the same thing but with textures? Have like lesser quality textures? Because you could just like resize them from the original ones, or is that gonna take away too much? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't touched game dev stuff in so long, and it seems like advancements in game technology happens every week. So I just want to quickly select this part here because I wanted to see. Oh, it's this part. Okay, it's that part there. I bet the normal maps for this thing go oh so hard. That they do. The cool thing about normal maps is that you can tell what they're for just by looking. So you see. Darn man. So pans are pretty basic. Again, this part's been modeled in with that, you know, anime thigh girl effect, like anime girl thigh effect. You know the one I mean, where it's like it's a bit tighter outwards, so it can give the impression of it being tight, and then you have the thing is bulging outwards, and then this thing here, it's all these little parts here. Again, what is the purpose of this, of closing out these faces? Because look at how small, you could just left that out. Could just left it out for real. But maybe it's for when he bends or when he's doing a fly kick or something. You don't want to see in between or something like that. I don't know. But that seems to be, oh wait, we didn't check out this little pocket here. Quickly going to solid mode so I can see how it's been made. Okay, so the pocket's been legit modeled. Okay. And then textured out proper. That's what it looks like rendered. And again, this is for a fighting game. So even if the polygon counts are ridiculously high, it's a fighting game. It's only gonna be like 2 dudes and some background stuff in the scene in each moment. At any given moment, I mean. But still, shout out the pants, shout out the textures. But do you see this? Do you see how, if you observe over here, you see how the light is falling in 2 different ways? On the belt, it's falling in a more like shiny kind of uniform way, but in the leather pants, it's falling more along the grooves of the leather. You do that with using the roughness or specular maps, but here they're named something else. Here it's, let me go check. Yeah, pretty much. So it's why you do that, which is why it's important to separate things, because not everything, or even like just the way the light falls onto the metal, that then falls onto everything else. You see, it's different because it's like that IRL. Okay. Now that we are done looking at Lars's pants, let's look at the last thing that we're going to check out, which is his shoes, or his boots, as it were. Because this look more like shoes than boots. Just popping into viewport mode. I mean, material mode. Actually, let's isolate these. And now we have his boots here. Let's give him a quick 360 in solid mode. Again, belts, just belts everywhere, bruh. Is this just like Japanese character design? Just throw belts, belt buckles everywhere. Oh, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of that in the next video. Trust. But so far, I am digging these boots. I'm digging these boots just about as much as I liked Squirrel Girl's boots. So let's split the screen in half here, because I want to keep one with the overlay and one without the overlay, and then this with the overlay. We'll put this into solid. Okay, so the boots are made up of the segments here. We got this top part here, it's not connected at the seams. It seems. I gotta stop that. But yeah, I can understand it being separated at the seams. Makes sense. Makes sense. And then here on the knees, though, you see, in the hold up. Let's select a better material. Capture. Nope. Yeah. Over here, you see it looks a bit softer than it does here. That's just visual trickery. Here you're seeing the little indentations and all that, so it makes it look a bit more detailed. While here, you really don't. You really don't. See, it's there. And that's where that part is. Right there. And then you have these little wings on his shoes. Little wings? I think I'm done with that. These things here. What would you call these? It's just like shoe detail? Just like, yeah. These little wing details. They're leather from what the previous material I can see that they're also made of leather for that part, but this is just like one hunk of... Oh wait, this is the boot, and then this is like a shin pad. A shin pad that gets tied down by a belt buckle. Ooh, I didn't even notice this. This is kind of interesting. This thing here. Got this belt buckle again. Lars Alex belt buckle, dude. There's so many on this guy. Hey, he's even got the under part of the shoe, so when he's spinning, when he's doing his little somersault, you can see them. Yeah, but this is super interesting in that it's not just flat with a texture. It's actually been modeled underneath, so you can still see like the pattern of the shoe underneath. So if this guy was walking on some like dynamic painted snow or something, he could leave tracks that look just like this, which is cool. This is a fighting game at the end of the day, but they didn't, they didn't do the little bumps underneath. So there'll be a lot of kicking, a lot of seeing of the under of the shoe. So we gotta edit that too. And now I'm guessing these are all split. Oh no, this is all part of the shoe, which means that these faces have been painted, not extruded. Wait, they have been extruded. It's just that they've been texture painted on top of one another to give that effect. Oh, I see. Now let's go check the UV mapping. Let's see how they did this. I'm gonna assume that this is boot. Yeah, boot. Again, and I bet it's another 2K. Yep, 2K textures, 2K tiled textures. There's the under of the shoe, but it's on both of them though. Huh? I thought they would have been like on top of each other, like with Squirrel Girl. This is weird because I thought that was just a studio convention or something. So it looks like it goes studio per studio. Because unless they have different textures on them, not different textures, but like the normal maps differ a bit. Yeah, they kind of do. They don't look exactly the same. But comparing it to the UVs on Squirrel Girl, it seems I don't want to say inefficient. Okay, I don't want to be like, oh, this, that, or the other thing, because this was done by a fully employed, trained person, so I'm sure they had their reasons to. But I just thought it was really cool the way they did it with Squirrel Girl. Putting the two similar UVs on the same map, which means that with the Squirrel Girl model, you wouldn't. This whole segment here, this whole part here, you could free up this bottom part by just taking this and dumping it on top of that one. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to see for myself now. What if I do that? What's going to change? If I take that and then I put it right there where that one is. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. So they could have just done this. They could have just done like they did with Squirrel Girl. And I think that's also what I'm going to start doing now with all my models. If it's the exact same thing, they go onto the exact same spot on the UV tile freeing up space for another thing. But again, with UV tiles, there is no like set rule that you have to follow. Okay, you just have to give yourself certain guidelines and stick to them, or it comes down to preference, really. Like, you give 3 different 3D artists 3 different character models, tell them to UV unwrap it, you get 3 different UV unwrappings, you know, kind of thing. But other than that, got the knee pads, got the boots. I'm guessing this part here, okay, it's that part. And then if we try to zoom in on it so we can see if we can get some, no, I want to see, maybe there was like some bump detail to try and decipher what it is. But still pretty neat. Still pretty neat, well packed, and well readable too. Because when you're working in a studio, you're not like the only person, so your stuff has to be readable. Maybe that's why. I'm sure maybe they tried it the first way. I can say I'm sure. Maybe they tried it the first way and then they were like, no, we want them separate for whatever reason. Fair. But still. Dope shoes though. Really, really dope shoes. And with that, I think that covers all of Lars. It's gonna give him another quick turnaround. Oh snap! We didn't look at the gloves, the hands of the gloves, and I bet they're a separate model. I was such a not smart person for not looking at his gloves. But let's look at his gloves and then we can move on. So the gloves here, these are like combat gloves. This part here should be like brass knucks, like grooves. Again, I'm sure that this is just the normal map. That's also done using normal maps, also with normal maps. If you go into solid mode so we can see what's been... It's just one solid segment, really, that's been sculpted out really, really well. Yeah, that's what that is. It's one solid segment that's just been sculpted very well. And then shaders do the rest, baby. Shaders do the rest. Let's quickly go to this UV. Let's type glove. See what I mean? But now I'm curious. No, wireframe. So they put both gloves on on a separate thing. Okay, so you see how had they just overlaid them on top of each other, it would have been... You could have taken less the space or whatever, but these ones have been done separately because now I come and select this other hand and the rest of them are selected. But it's still pretty good work. I'm not trying to take anything away from this. I'm just an entire normal map just for that detail. I don't know. But so far I'm really liking it. The gloves really well made. Something I forgot to mention is when you see these blue lines here, these blue lines are the seams. This is the parts. It's these parts. This line here. So you see if I go into that mode, if I select that line there, look, this line is that line. This blue line you're seeing here on the finger, it's this outline here. So you use that, that's what you do in Engine to like, in the software to mark where the seams are gonna be. So you just do that, then you say mark seam, and you see, it lights up, just like the other ones. But yeah, there's not much to his glove, because it's, like I said, it's just one solid segment. The shaders are what's really carrying this glove texture, because it's simple. It's pretty simple. Can't do this. You can see that thingy underneath. Yeah, this is Def's just sculpting, just heavy sculpting. But that should do it for the modeling. Is there anywhere I missed? Nah, I looked at everything. I looked at the coat, I looked at the little shoulder details, I even looked at it with the lights off. I think that should do it for the model. now let's go take a look at the rig. But before I go, thank you for watching and thank you for your time. You guys are the absolute best, okay? I do this for you guys. But let's head on over to the rig to see how this bad boy moves and animates. Welcome back, everybody, and now we're going to be doing a rig inspection of Lars. Now, initially I'd start off by running through the weight painting, but I think I'll just stop doing that and just dive straight into the rig. So, without further ado, let's do this. So, this seems to be much like the other rigs we've looked at today. They're lacking some of the controls that come from the native 3D modeling suits that they were made in, but they do have the original bones and they've all been weight painted accordingly. So despite that, we can still move parts around. Here, let's just go in solid mode. We can still wrong deform. Oh, okay. So let's start off with the hair is rigged too. The hair is rigged too. Okay. Interesting. I can see some reasons for this. Now, from the way this thing has been rigged, with like bones even going into clothes, I'm gonna assume that this is for like dynamic bones, like wiggle bones. At least that's what I've seen them as. But yeah, instead of having the game engine simulate cloth, which is always a bitch and a half for whatever software you're trying to do it in, whether it's just like cloth simulations for, let's see, yeah, whether it's just cloth simulations for general 3D software or like in engine, I'm sure it's a bit of a bother. So yeah, I did that so I can zoom in on it a bit. Oh yeah, and his shoulder thing. So again, for my aspiring 3D artists, don't worry. 3D animators, I mean, don't worry. You're not gonna be having to animate and rig all of these because they're going to be connected to other bones that. Oh, hello. Little awkward handshake. little awkward handshake. Hello. I am Lars. I have daddy issues because my dad is Hachimishima. How can you not have daddy issues with a dad like that, bro? Like, for real. But again, very comprehensive. Seems to be weighted out pretty well. I like this little whatever's happening here, where the outer one selects the whole hand and then the inner one is kind of like the deforms. Okay, you can, with this setup, you can simulate a lot of what looks like soft body cloth stuff, but it's actually just purely rigged stuff. And again, you see me here, like when I'm trying to bend these fingers, you see me like selecting each bone and doing it. Again, I can't stress enough how I'm only doing this because I haven't put bone constraints and kinematics and stuff like that on this model. You do that to make your life easier. I illustrated it a little bit further in the Wolverine review that I did previously to this one, if you want to check that out, on how IKs and stuff like that can drastically increase your workflow. But let me not get carried away. Let's go breaking this like part by part, head to toe. So first of all, I was still geeking at the fact that this hair is rigged, but I think you can get some pretty cool like wind effects with this type of rig. It seems. Here, let's zoom in on his face. Seems at least that's hair effects and like wind effects when he's moving and jumping and flying and stuff. Like the same thing that you see on the clothes is probably what they do with the hair, which is super smart, if you ask me. Why are they moving in different directions? That's because X-Pose is on. Cheeky smile. God, it's just such a cacophony of like noise here. It's hard to find. Okay, let's do this. there's something here that controls everything. Again, apologies for the cat meowing, taking care of my sister's cat. Say hi, Candy. Good girl. So, I was initially like wondering, should I like edit it out and have to restart again every time the cat's being a cat? So I just thought, no, I'm just gonna leave it in. Adds a bit of personality. But since this face models are such a mess, such a little cluster, you see like what I'm saying here. Wait, let's see how the hair moves when I move with the rig. I just find it so... Oh, okay. It's like it deforms in very specific ways per the specific bones. I would love to see what this rig looks like in engine and how it works with the... I think it's like the Namco Bandai have like in-house engine. No, this one runs Unreal. On Tekken 8, yeah, it runs Unreal. I'd love to see how the original rig runs with Unreal. Again, bones like these, you're wondering what are they for? Again, it's to sort of simulate this cloth effect here without running actual simulations. Like sometimes, depending on the complexity of the simulation, you could literally have it like rendering and baking for days. And to do that in real time is such a, why? You don't need to do that in real time. So you find tricks and ways around it. Like, and tricks and ways around it is to, again, rig it up brazy. Like, look, if I select like this row of these bones and then try and bend it, all of it's gonna bend. Yeah, all of it is bending. So anytime you see any of these characters having cool like wind effects, just know that yeah, it's bones, baby. It's dynamic bones. So the pose bones themselves might even be as much, and I'm pretty sure there's a naming convention for them too. Cape, middle. Oh no, it's just named after what they're for. Adjust root, arm, left shoulder, adjust root, and that makes it do all that business. That makes it do all that. Okay, so I've checked. Now what I want now is the main head control. I want to move his head around. I'm guessing it's one of these ones from how I saw it. No, that's still his hair. Still his hair. Is it could it be this one? Nope, that's his ear. His ear is rigged. Jesus, so far, the people who I'm like really feeling for is the weight painting and rigging people. Yahtzee, if you don't have some kind of like automatic weight painting thing that you then take up and there we nope, there we don't go. It's just his face. Now it looks like something from Jacob's Ladder. Let me see what that looks like in all speed. Lars being possessed. Okay, I can't seem to find. Let's just select everything again. This guy. Again, I don't want to switch on names because if I do, it won't help. We've tried it before. It's just gonna be a big old mess. Where is that head bone? Oh wait, I think I found it. Yay! I found it. Now let's make Lars do a bombastic side eye. I'd have to select. Yeah, nah, you can't make it with a bombastic side eye. Whoa. Andy Mush exposing his potato PC. Calm down, Candy. Calm down. Okay, I found the head root. I'm happy now. I am happy. And then what's the one in it? Is that... Oh, it's like the neck. Okay, so I see where it is. It's this one. This is the... Nope. Oh, I was right there. Ah, believe at yourself, my people. Believe at yourself. I actually had found it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave him in like a type position. And then I'm guessing this is... Nope, this is... more chin controls. This is the mewing controls. Actually, this one is. Yeah. Lars Alexandersson. Okay, enough of that. And then we have these controls here. The ones I'm really looking for, the major ones. This one, which is this just how like arena fighting game models are rigged, or is this just how models are rigged? You know, because I don't really do much of the rigging part. I just find add-ons or try and trick it, because rigging is where the stuff really comes to life. Okay, this for me, rigging is this is the real magic of it. Okay, here maybe I can make him do something Lars normally wouldn't, like what, a peace sign or something. So I'm guessing. Oh no! we gotta change that. No, we gotta change that first. Okay, let's make him do a peace sign first. Okay, with the actual hand. Sorry, I didn't mean that. You guys. I did not mean that to happen. I didn't mean for Lars to go full, you know. I only realized it happened. God, I'm gonna leave that in. 1,000,000%, I'm gonna leave that in. It's those moments, man. That's why I do these things unscripted, you know. From my cat pulling up, unintentional, little stuff like that. Yeah. So, yeah. So to me, I'm the realest 3D artist on YouTube. Okay, don't do that. I don't want to have that moniker, cause like, I don't want to have the moniker of YouTuber, because I've mentioned in the previous video that YouTube is not my end goal. It's just a step. It's a means to an end, as it were. But that doesn't mean that I don't love and value each and every one of you. All of you are goated indeed. So I haven't been speaking about the rig for a bit, but again, there isn't much to say here. What do you mean there's not much? There's a ton to say. There is a ton to say. I nearly TOS'd myself just now. So I was gonna say before before we had that interesting little accident that these. Okay, no, I think that the peace sign is too far split. Just grab that, do that. This is kind of like my favorite part of the modeling, low key. So yeah, those like adjustable bones. I think it's to adjust stuff like this, so you can like whoop or poke it back out, move it forward. But this is what I think it's for. It's like corrective bones and stuff. I should watch more Tekken 7 gameplay, because there was a time when Tekken 7 had just come out. I was watching a lot of like pro players testing it out and stuff like that. I've been watching some like FGC stuff. It's super cool. It's like I felt like I was walking into a whole world, a whole new world of like, you know, stuff. It was amazing. It even felt a little bit sometimes, like with the storylines and some of the rivalries, it felt a little bit like watching UFC. Not 1-to-1. Okay, that's different. Is a whole different world between sitting on your computer and making people fight and actually getting into the octagon and fighting people. Two different stories right there. Still fun though. Both of them have their enjoyments, and I love both. I'm not gonna say equally, okay? I love real fighting way more, but it's still dope though. I have a lot of respect for like what fighting game players do, like really good fighting game players. I liken it to being like a really good chess player. But no. Now we're looking at the rig. So you see how when I move his leg forward, it like goes through it. If this rig was, oh wait, ain't that an idea for like Patreon, where I fix the IKs and the stuff and try to get the rig to be as close to how it must have been like in the coming out of the game engine. So you see how I moved the leg up like that. You wouldn't have to do that. I just did that because this is like the rig in its most raw state. It's like, here are the bones, here's what they are, here's what they do, leave me alone. You know, that's the rig, that's the state of this rig. It's not in that, hey, so this can control this can move that, you do this to do that. Because, like, for example, to make him do something like this, I'm pretty sure the OG rig coming out of Maxo Maya has controls for stuff like this. So I'm trying to make him do like a little, like a sassy little pose. Which one's his wrist control now? I think it's this one. No, it's not. So I'll have to select all of these, like all of y'all. Oh, whoa, okay. So if I wanted to move that, I could have just, oh, okay. Interesting. So which one of y'all are wrist? One more wrist so cold than one you with my fish. Is it this one? No, it's not. I can't seem to find the wrist control. Bummer. But yeah, I was trying to make him do a little like sassy. Hey, let me see if I can make him smile. God, this is gonna take some time. This is gonna take a lot of time. Well, not as much, but we're having fun here. Again, I love the way this model's weighted out. I love all the crazy detail. Like when I say crazy detail, I mean crazy detail. So that's the main control for this ring here is the main control for the coat. So I'm sure that these bones are divided into groups. You have the pose bones, which are the ones you select to, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. You pose the model with them. And then you have the like weight painted or like the dynamic bones. These are bones that are now controlled by like physics effects and stuff like that. So when you add like a wind effector or a gravity effector or something, those are the bones that are gonna get affected depending on how they were weighted out, which is why this model is so dense. If you see other models from older games, they're pretty simple and they move simple too. Like for example, think about how characters from Tekken 5 move versus how characters from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas move. They don't move alike because one rig is more complex than the other, which is again why rigging is so important. Rigging is which is why I take my time with this. So yeah, I'll still gotta try and make him smile. That's what I want to do. I can go through trying to like explain, oh, this bone doing this bone doing that, but that feels a little bit, that could be very boring and tedious. Instead, we're just gonna move bones around, try and do some stuff so you can see how this rig is. But again, like I said, you're seeing a very raw, a very like straight from the game engine type of rig. So making this dude smile is gonna be hard. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll try and move something. If it doesn't, I hide it. Try to move something. If it doesn't do what I want, I hide it. Grab something. Nope. Try to make it do. Okay, we got cheeky. Let's get cheeky. That's the upper lip. There's so much lip control. So much lip control, dude. That kind of looks gross now. I like stretched it out to where it shouldn't have gone. It ended up looking gross. Like from here, it's like, oh man, but I'm kind of not though. I mean, this is kind of cool. When she slap your ass, but you know he like it. Okay, that's the last joke. I'm doing. It's so hard to make him. Okay, so here's the main bone here. This controls the everything. I'm guessing this is the bone that you select when you want to like move them around or just displace them. That's the main one, and it's in the center mass too. That's really good because I had there was a time I was trying to make this like superhero dude fly, and I'll put the animation up on screen. And it is a Rigify rig, so I had to get him from the bottom up. it didn't work as well. It didn't work as well. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll see. But yeah, that's the main body control there. I'm guessing this is like the chest. Nope. This one. There's one here. One of you guys have the chest control. Oh, is it? All of y'all. Yep, it's all of y'all. You gotta select all of y'all to get the chest control going. So I mean, this looks like a pose that Lars wouldn't. Oh, hold on, I don't even play Tekken. What do I mean? I was just trying to make him do like a hey kind of cutesy type thing. But I really like this rig. Again, I really like I see why they did what they did. Okay, this is actually incredibly smart way, because again, instead of making a game engine to affect the polygons to cause effects, they just affect bones, and then you can fix and adjust. And like, I've seen this type of technology as far back as Devil May Cry 3. Okay, like I used to love how when Dante jumps, the wind follows his the wind follows the way he moves. I thought that was neat. I thought it was really cool. And now I see how they do that. They rig it to do that. But again, I don't think they animate it. They rig the bones, and then the bones do the things that they want to do. In 2D and in for animation though, you don't have to do this. You can just have it be like control bones and really high detailed facial control bones, and then just use the in-engine renderers, because because when you're doing animation, you're not doing it in real time, so you can export it out. Easy, girl, easy, so needy. Maybe it's because it's late here, but I think that is all. I think I'll do like a posing live stream or something where I'll ask chat or something like, hey, drop a pose you want him to do, and then I'll pose him up. But again, a lot of control. The verdict here, again, like I said, a lot of control, a lot of different buttons here. Again, I fully understand why they are the way they are. You see how wait. Did that like deform, like cloth deform when I moved it, or did I just move it too much? So with a system like this one, you can get very detailed, very realistic movements with very little like simulation, quote unquote simulation. You just weigh the bones you weigh the bones, and then you relate the bones to other bones that then do what you want it to do. But I think that is all for this video. So thanks for tuning in. Your viewership and time with me is always appreciated. Trust me, like you have no idea how much I value what you're doing here. And I'd also just like to say thanks again for all the people who are still watching my Squirrel Girl video. It's almost on 20k views now, which is still blowing my mind. I can't believe how many of you just like. I'm hoping that it's partially me and people liking how I'm doing the breakdowns, but I'm starting to think it's just like Squirrel Girl horniness. But I'm not trying to say I don't appreciate you guys. I really do. You guys are the reason why I do this. Even though right now, as I speak, I'm not directly monetized, I'm still gonna keep doing this, because this is fun. I like all the comments. I read every comment. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.